Yo, what is up YouTube? And today we're going to be talking about the current banner rotation featuring Flan and if she is worth pulling for as well as her artifact. Now we're not going to be talking about the other banner running alongside her because we did talk about Noggle, the new unit, in another video. So we're just going to be talking about Flan and her own artifact, and that's pretty much it. So looking at her skills very quickly, so her S3, it is an AoE non-attack skill that will inflict unhealable and decrease defense at 100% chance. Now, of course, you can get resisted, so you have to keep that in mind. You're also going to decrease CR by 15%, and you could actually soul burn this for an extra turn, which pairs very, very well with her S2. Her S2 is a CR push by, I believe, 40% that will also give one ally attack and also critical hit damage. Basically, the combo with Flan is you S3 with the soul burn. Now, obviously, because she's a ranger, she can't hold book, so you want to make sure you bring a mage with Toggal's Ancient Book. So you soul burn her S3, you S2 a low speed, very high crit chance, crit damage attack AoE damage dealer, such as like Vildred. You can use something such as like Landy, just pretty much whatever you have in your arsenal. And then your damage dealer just, one-shots the enemy side or does a lot of damage. And whatever happens after, if you have like a Summertime Assyria or Commander Pavel, you get what I'm saying with the cleave sequence. Now, her S1 is a single target attack that has a chance to dispel one buff, but for the most part, her main strengths will lie in her S2 and S3. So yeah, looking at her kit, it's pretty obvious that she is used in cleave only. Basically, all you do is use soul burn your S3, boost up an ally, and then usually win by then. If not, you're probably going to lose because Flan is kind of just like a one and done type of hero. But the thing is, yeah, even though she's very powerful in cleave, there's a lot of counters to her because one, her base speed is pretty low. You can see that her base speed is 115, which will not compete with units such as like Ran. If I take off this boot, you're going to see Ran's speed is 129, so she is completely 14 speed lower than Ran, which is insane because, as you guys know, speed set actually scales with your base speed, making it more valuable in Ran. Also, she gets outsped by Lua, Conquer Lilius, you name it. So even though she does want to take the first turn, it's pretty hard to actually do that with her if you guys have the even like strength gear as your opponent. So usually what you want to do is use her as a bridge unit, such as like Ran with like Summertime Assyria, and then you have Flan, and then like another damage dealer, like a mage of some sort that does AoE damage, right? And then you are good to go. Flan can also be used in Wyvern 13 one-shot because her S2 will actually increase the damage of your one-shot units, such as like Sigrid, by a great amount. And because also she has a defense break for the first wave, so you can use her there. But those comps are pretty specific. You'll need specific units for that. Most likely it's going to be, you're going to be looking at something like Flan, Sigrid, or Rem with like Aros and Singelica and like Seaside Bologna. So there's a lot of specific comps out there. You can always search them up. But Flan is definitely very good for Wyvern 13 one-shot as well. And yeah, like I said, pretty good for cleave. However, overall, I don't really think she's worth pulling for because even though she's good in PvP as a cleaver, you can only really use her in arena offense because she has 2 non-attack skills, making her very weak against Flan, making her very weak also against units such as like Green Celine, and also because of the fact that her S3 doesn't have a ability to ignore effect resist. So that means you need to build her on high effectiveness while building her on high speed, which can be hard to do. And also because of the fact that her base speed is low, so she'll get outsped pretty frequently. And for Wyvern 13 one-shot, there's so many other options out there, so I don't think she's really worth using your bookmarks for. Now looking at her artifact, Unseen Observer. This artifact is for rangers. Basically, after you use a non-attack skill, you'll give yourself CR and also acquire 10 souls, and these souls can only be acquired once. In theory, this is pretty good on Flan, but not because you can supplement yourself with the amount of souls you need for your S3, because obviously this costs 20, but because if you use a mage that has Toggal's Ancient Book, you soul burn with that S3 on Flan, you use the Toggal's Ancient Book for that, and then right after you get 10 souls for a unit such as like Green Vildred, whose S3 is going to cost 10 souls to soul burn, and you get what I'm saying, you just give your team 30 souls instead of 20 with just the Toggle's Ancient Book. So yeah, pretty good on Flan, otherwise not going to be really used on too many units because, as you guys know, Ranger artifacts very hard to compete with when you have Guiding Light. So yeah, this artifact's pretty much worth skipping as well. Pretty easy skip on this banner and her artifact. Honestly, if you want to spend your bookmarks and you can't resist pulling, you definitely want to pull for Noggle. She's way more worth it. Her and her artifact are very, very good, so you definitely want to make sure you pull for her and buy her artifact from the store. And as for Flan, pretty easy skip. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Don't want to drag it on more than we need to, and I'll see you guys next video.